Karen from Countyfairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
County Fairgrounds here. Do I have Kristi Brown of Last Germ on the line with me?
Yes.
So tell me, Kristi, what does your company do, and how long has it been running?
Well, Last Germ has been in business since 2019, late of 2019, and at that time it was in Tennessee. The owner was Ricky Gooch, a wonderful man. He had been suffering with leukemia for over 6 years at that point, and decided that he was going to find something to help with keeping his home as bacteria-free as possible to extend his life and help his family. And so he found this product and started using it and found that there was many other people that needed this also. And so that's where the roots of the company are. I came into the picture in March of 2020. I became executive administrator in June of that year, and then in October of 2021, I took over the CEO position. And unfortunately, Ricky actually passed away about 2 weeks ago. So it's a gradual transference of things, and so that's kind of the background of the company. And what we do is we offer products that are specifically designed to really eliminate viruses and bacteria. So what we have are what we call a two-step process. We use our first product, which is they're both EPA registered, but we lay this product out. We spray it down. It can go on any surface. It can be used around humans, animals. Doesn't matter. You can put it on electronics. You can put it on, marble or leather or whatever. And you spray this first step down, and that actually goes and takes care of all of the viruses and bacteria that are already on those surfaces. So 99.99% of them are going to be eliminated completely. We let that dry, and then
So I understand that this also kills COVID viruses?
It does, yes. Yes, our product is on the EPA's N list, which means that it destroys the SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID-19.
Okay. And right now you've told me that you're working with the Avian Blue Flu virus that a lot of the fairgrounds are having problems with. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure we've all heard on the news or on, social media or wherever we find it, the avian flu, the bird flu is a really big thing. It's been around for, 100 years, but it has its spots where it just really takes over flocks, and this year is really, really bad. And what happens is it could be out in outlying areas, even in other countries for that matter, but when the migratory birds start to come back, they bring these bacteria with them. And so it literally can happen in any place that there's poultry. So any feathered friend can carry this disease. We usually see it really hitting the turkey and the chicken barns because that's, the majority of our meat product. And so we have farmers here in Minnesota that are just devastated because if one bird gets sick in their flock, they could potentially have to euthanize the entire flock. And, for someone like myself, I have 100 birds, but I have friends locally that have tens of thousands of birds. And, that could devastate their entire year having to get rid of that. And it also not only affects the farmer, but also affects you and me, because now egg prices are sky high because they're so hard to find. Chicken, turkey, really any poultry product is going to go really sky high on price. So this is going to affect us all. With the extension office in Minnesota, they will give you some ideas on how to do what they call biosecurity, which is great. They tell you some of the basics, like making sure that you have clean boots, you have clean clothes, you wear your barn clothes, which means you get to the barn, you put on something different than what you walked in with. You take that off before you leave. That helps keep that transmission rate down. They have all these different things that they want you to do, which is fantastic. But what we offer is something completely different from that. And our product actually will kill the H5N1 virus. So the difference in what we do and what most farmers are doing right now is twofold. First of all, there are some farmers who will use maybe a bleach-based product, or they'll steam clean. Those things do help but they don't really eliminate the virus very well, and they're toxic. The steam, of course, is not, but the bleach is very toxic to humans and to animals. And so what we can do is we can actually go in there and we have it registered and certified that it will kill these viruses, and we can go in and we can completely spray all of the area. The birds don't necessarily have to leave the space, which is really nice. We can segregate them to one end of the barn, put them back when we're done, mostly for the ease of the person applying, because you don't want to be tripping over, turkeys when you're spraying. But so we can actually help get rid of that virus, and it's proactive. So you may not even have any sick birds yet, but proactively we can come in and get those sprayed so that it's taken care of before anything were to happen. So that's the major difference in what we do than what you may see other people doing right now. A lot of people wait until they start to see the signs of their birds being sick, or they just practice basic biosecurity measures, making sure they stay clean and their hands are washed and so forth. And that's all good, but it doesn't necessarily kill those viruses. It may help keep the transmission rate down, but be proactive and get your barns sprayed. And so it not only works with the avian flu, but there's all kinds of other things that it can help with too. There's an issue with horses right now that's going around that we're able to help with. There's some situations with rabbits. So all of these county fairs, when you're looking at things like poultry, you have all kinds of things, chickens, turkey, geese, ducks, and they're coming from how many different farms? Hundreds of kids are bringing in their animals. My daughter shows chickens at the 4-H. So they're bringing in all of these different things, all of these rabbits, 200 to 300 to 400 rabbits at your average county fair, and the horses, the cows, the babies, they're all susceptible to something. And so we have the ability to really keep all of that down, first of all, hopefully eliminate a lot of those viruses. And then with our step 2, so that really the step 1 is the real eliminator. It's the virus killer. It goes in and it takes care of nearly everything. And it's a disinfectant, so it doesn't last forever. What does last for quite a lengthy time is our step 2 product. And so we will put that in after we spray. We get rid of the initial germs, the bacteria, viruses, all of that. And then we go into step 2 and we actually spray that down. And what that is, it's an antimicrobial system. And so it actually goes onto any surface again, and it attracts these microbes to it. So it's a positively charged surface. The microbes are negatively charged, so they're drawn to the surface. And once it lands there, it just tears that cell apart. So it's not like a chemical which would maybe drown that cell, or it would maybe just hide it for a little bit or cause it some issues, and then it's allowed to mutate or transmit in another fashion. What we do is actually considered a mechanical process. Now, it's not something you can see, touch, hear, but it's mechanical on the surface where when those microbes come down, okay, they're actually shredded. So imagine like a table of razor blades and a ceiling full of balloons. So the balloons are the microbes. They come down onto that razor blade, which is this protective layer, and they're just shredded to pieces. So they do not have a chance to transmit or to mutate or to cause any other issues. That lasts 90 days, and that's an EPA-tested product as well. So not only can you give that initial feeling of comfort that you're doing everything you can to protect your animals and the people that are in there, but now you have a bacterial killing system for 90 days. So people will see things such as a very low smell, because what we're doing is we're killing the bacteria that causes the odors. You'll also see much less flies, because once again the flies are attracted to the odors. You'll see a more healthy flock, because they're not dealing with all of the potential bacteria that can get into their system. So it's a great process for any human or any animal. And they're easy to use. We can come out and do it, or a lot of people will buy the product and do it themselves. Fantastic way of making sure everything stays healthy as possible.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. You also sell hand sanitizers, and do you sell like tissues and things?
No, we don't sell like tissues or masks or anything like that. The hand sanitizer that we have is actually from the same company. It's an antimicrobial, and it's a foam, so it's not that liquidy residue stuff that's left on your hand. It's non-alcoholic, so there's no smell. It's actually infused with aloe vera. So you can pump it on your hand. It gets foamy. You rub it in, and it's almost like a lotion. And what it does is it's the same concept as what I just talked about with the surfaces, but it does this to your hands for 6 hours. So it becomes an antimicrobial protectant for your hands for 6 hours. You can wash dishes. You can use other products. You can put on lotion. It's still activated. So that's what's really unique about this product, because so many people, they won't use sanitizer anymore because their hands smell, or it dries out their skin, or they have maybe a cut or a hangnail or something, and they don't want to get that on there because it's going to burn. They won't let their kids use it because they don't want the kids to lick their hands or to grab a piece of food and then shove it in their mouth with this alcohol-based sanitizer. This is completely safe. So we were at a business expo just a couple of weeks ago, and lots of kids, they love it because it's foamy. So they put it on their hands and they rub it in, and then they can go back to whatever they were doing, and it's not going to harm them.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You own this business, right, completely?
Right now, I do have a partner with me. He's what I would consider a non-active partner, kind of a consultant. I do have 95% ownership right now, correct?
Okay, so you said when I had heard from you on Facebook that you are doing some county fairs. So do you recommend the county fairs do it, like, say, how many days before the fair?
I would definitely recommend doing this. First of all, you could do this anytime because the secondary product is going to kill the bacteria for 90 days. So they could start doing that as soon as next month if they wanted to. You know, for sure, it doesn't take very much time to spray down. I would say for, like, the average county fair, it might take a half a day to get through all of the barns and all the stalls and all the buildings. So just give enough time to do that. The first step, that virus killer, that's something that you want to do literally on a daily basis, because you want to go back, and when you're bringing in new animals all the time, you want to constantly be sure that you're going ahead and killing all of that stuff, you know, or eliminating all of those time and time again. Because the 90 days is bacteria protectant, but it doesn't necessarily kill off all of the viruses. We have not had it tested to do that. So, you know, with the EPA, with COVID that happened, so many things got slowed up and changed. We had just things that would take 3 months now take literally 2 years. I mean, it's just crazy how things got all bottlenecked when COVID hit. So there's lots of things that are in the process, but we just don't have that data. Do we believe that it continues to kill viruses just as it does germs? Yes, I believe that because it's a mechanical process. If you have a razor blade and there's a balloon, it doesn't matter what color the balloon is, it's still going to get shredded, right? And so it's kind of the same concept. We don't have the EPA backing to market it that way, so we don't. We just say this is what we think. You can take that information for what you wish, but this is what we feel just because it's common sense. So I would say with the county fairs that they would want to have our Step 1 product available to them at any given moment. We have our EPA registered products. We also have an organic product because I know some don't want anything that has any resemblance of a chemical whatsoever. They would prefer to use an organic product. I can do that either way. So it's whichever product they choose to use, I can help them out with that. I would say have that on hand. Use that on a daily basis for sure. And in fact, if you want to, have it in, you know, around the stalls and just tell the owners to, you know, go in and spray once in a while. It's not, you know, have a hand sprayer, just spray around the cages. I know in Wadena County, my understanding is with the rabbits, because there is a disease going on right now with rabbits, that they are going to go in and they're going to spray all of the different cages down. And then every time a rabbit is transferred from one cage to the next, they have to spray it again. And they do have our product there to start doing that with. So that's something that they've chosen to do. I think the avian flu right now, a lot of things are put on hold with the extension office, the 4-H extension office. And so hopefully we're able to put chickens at the fairs. But that is a potential that could change depending on how this goes.
Okay. So can you tell me some fairs and festivals and things that you might have worked with so other fairs know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I said the Wadena County Fairgrounds, they do have some of our products, and I'm registered to be at the Wadena Fair. I'm also going to be going to Crow Wing County, Todd, Morrison, and potentially Otter Taylor, a couple of other ones. So I'm getting involved with them. I'm talking with them now and trying to push this product through to them, or at least educating them on the ability that they have to be proactive and help out all of their kids. There's always a lot of questions. There's a lot of education that needs to happen. People are leery of doing anything new. They're like, well, this is what I have. This is what works. That's what we'll keep doing. But we have to remember that sometimes new is better. And just because grandma used it for the last 100 years doesn't mean it's necessarily the best thing that we can do now. Bleach, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol-based products, they're not only toxic to humans, they're very toxic to animals, and they also ruin surfaces. So using something like that, although it's cheap and it's easy and it works, it does the job, but it does a lot more than what it's supposed to. So it might kill that virus, but it's also causing lung damage. It's causing skin issues. It's causing your animals to be coughing. I had a friend of mine that for the last 5 years, she's used the same tub to put her new baby chicks into. Of course, you clean it out, you wash them up, you spray them down. But this last year, she's been losing so many babies. And I asked her what she was doing to clean those tubs, and she's using bleach. Well, it's a tub, so what happens with plastic? It leaches, correct? And you're taking and putting heat lamps onto plastic that has been literally infused with bleach year after year after year after year. Now that heating up of that plastic is causing that bleach to become a fume and actually come out and really kill off her baby chicks. And that's really what's happening. People don't realize that. They're like, what do you mean that can happen? It can. Think about it. It's a chemical. It's a fume. It's going to cause you, if you breathe in bleach, it's going to hurt your lungs. What do you think it's doing to these poor baby chicks? So those are the different fairs that I'm going to be at as far as a vendor. So I'm working with them, wanting to get in and talk with the board of directors, dealing with different people there to say, listen, this is what we can do to help you out. And not just for the animal spaces, but we could take and spray all of the spaces, the kitchens, the bathrooms, all of those publicly used areas that really need to stay clean. And even in, like porta potties, this is incredible for that because it reduces that smell. You've got a great product in there. You know that it's doing its job. You've got a hand sanitizer that isn't gooey and yucky and running all over the place. So lots of benefits to what we have to offer.
And it also kills mold, right?
It does. So we don't say that we are a remedial mold service. That would be someone, who comes in and they actually are like taking out the sheetrock and doing things like that. We don't cover that. But what we can do is if you've got a small spot of mold or mildew on something, we can easily spray this on there and it's going to kill that bacteria to the spores. It's going to take it all the way down, which a lot of things won't. You have your bleach products and things like that. It just takes care of it on the top surface. It doesn't actually get in and kill the bacteria that's causing that mold and mildew. And this will. So it's really great to spray on shower walls, any wet area for sure. It's great to be used in. I'll tell you, out in our chicken coops, we don't really have any spots where you see mold or stagnant areas because we do spray this out there. And so it's great for those types of situations.
Okay, well, I think we've pretty well covered this topic. So why don't you tell people across the country how they can reach you and where they can find you in case they're interested in ordering this product?
Sure. So the best thing to do is to go to our website, which is lastgerm.com. There's a ton of information on there. I'm actually in the process of updating some information now. We just added a couple of new products that I think, especially for animal lovers, well, anybody that has issues with wounds, needs a first aid kit, these are going to be fantastic because it's an incredible product. Those will be on in the next day or two, we'll start to see those and information about that. But lastgerm.com is the best place to go. It's got all the information there that you need. And then there's a contact button on the bottom. You can simply click on that and send me an email. If you choose, you can go to management@lastgerm.com. That is my email address directly. And we also have a Facebook page. We just put up this TikTok and Snapchat, which honestly, I wasn't sure that I was going to do that, but I kind of got pushed into doing it. I've never used it. I'm not the 20, 30-year-old, so I haven't used it before, but it seems to be great. So you can find us in TikTok, on Snapchat, and Facebook, on LinkedIn, all of those different social medias, as well as our website.
And now on Countyfairgrounds.net, too. So.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Kristi. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.